Welcome to Real Estate in Real Time. I'm your host, Woody Zimmerman, here with Mark Skabowski of Remax Lakes, and good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing well. It's the first week of fall.
First week of fall, right? Roger and I, long sleeves.
Yeah, you're wearing
It's
long
time.
sleeves.
You're still
I
trying
thought
to
about it.
extend
I've got a
summer.
T-shirt on underneath my polo, so I thought about going long sleeves today. I've got my coffee, but
Yeah,
no
covered
pumpkin.
up.
Yeah,
No pumpkin spice
no pumpkin
yet.
spice. But because I'm not into that, but I guess everybody else is. So
Not me.
You're the only one, Woody.
I'm that boring guy.
Yeah, me
Black
too.
coffee
Yeah.
year round.
I-
Doesn't matter.
I'll take cream in mine, but I'm the same. I'm the same. So we're headed into fall.
Heading into fall, seasons are starting to change. You know, I look forward to this time of year, but I don't like this time of year, especially this year with having the boat, our first year
Oh yeah.
with the boat, because that means it's coming to an end.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've got the things to take care of on the boat to get it ready for winter. Well,
Right.
we should think about those same things when it comes to our house.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, a lot of times we don't, although it crossed my mind this week, hey, I better get that furnace inspection scheduled.
Yes.
You know, so we've got some tips for things that you really ought to be doing this time of year to get ready for winter.
Okay.
Now, winter is not here yet,
No,
but it will be here before you know it, right?
that is true.
So, number one, clean your gutters.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I know the leaves are starting to fall. I mean, I've seen them turning. They're starting to fall. You know, I drive down the street to my house. There's leaves in the road. That's
Mhm.
always an indicator it's coming.
It is.
We're going to get there. So, you know, why is it important to clean your gutters? Well, if you allow the leaves to build up in your gutters, you know, we get snow, we get rain, whatever, and then it freezes. It can create what's called ice dams,
Mhm.
which back up. They actually back up into and on the roof of underneath the shingles. They'll
Yep.
back up under the shingles, rot the wood, create leaks in the house. So, what's an easy way to avoid that?
Clean them.
your gutters.
Mhm.
Let the gutters run. You know, in the area where I live, there's a lot of trees. Across the road, I have one tree in my yard, one big maple tree in my yard.
Okay.
Across the road, there's 5 acres of woods. I swear all 5
Yes.
acres end up in my yard at
Yeah.
any point throughout the year. Multiple times, it seems like.
I know the feeling.
And if it's in my yard, it's in my gutters. So, you know, if you don't have gutter guards,
Mhm.
make sure that you get up there and clean your gutters. If you do have gutter guards, make sure that they're cleaned out. If you've got maple trees like I do, spinners, I have the gutter guards with the slots in them.
Okay.
Those spinners invariably, somehow, some way, find their
They
way
get in.
and plug those,
Oh, boy.
slots in there.
Yeah.
So just make sure all that stuff's cleaned out.
Okay.
So clean your gutters.
Okay.
This next one, check and seal your windows. You know, now most vinyl clad windows, you know, they're sealed really well, but if you've got an older home
Mhm.
that has caulking around the exterior of the windows,
Yes.
probably a good idea to check that caulk. It's easier to caulk when it's, 50, 60 degrees out than when it's minus 10.
Very true.
And the wind is blowing through in and around your windows, around your
Mhm.
electrical outlets, that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Now, they sell that spray foam stuff, and I'm not going to be, I'm an expert on these pieces, but you can take some spray foam around electrical outlets and seal, because there are houses, older homes, where you can feel
Yeah.
wind actually blowing through those outlet covers. So,
Yeah.
what's all that mean? Energy efficiency, all of that stuff.
Mhm.
Now, one caution with the spray foam, don't put so much in there you collapse the electrical outlet, because it will do it.
Right.
It just small doses, little psst,
Yeah.
little psst, not a psst, run it wide open.
Okay. All right.
So cut back tree limbs. It's amazing through the year how branches tend to grow. Like I mentioned, I have one tree. My neighbor's house is covered by branches.
Mhm.
And she's actually had a couple of really large ones come down this summer that fortunately did not hit her house. The winds prevail out of the west, so
Mhm.
it's blowing away from her house. But what if the winds were blowing the other way?
Sure.
And you've got branches overhanging your house.
Right.
You get cracking, whatever, freeze, thaw, all that stuff. They crack, fall on your roof. Now you've got roof damage. You got a bigger problem than it would have cost to have somebody come out and cut those limbs if you couldn't do it yourself.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. That could be bad news. That's
Yeah.
bad news for the roof and Yeah.
really bad
It
news.
could
for
cause
the
some
roof.
leaks too. So
Absolutely. So, and major expense if you get to that.
Right.
So, a little bit of preventive maintenance can help you down the road. This time of year in our area, storing outdoor furniture, storing lake stuff. Right?
a lot of stuff around the lakes.
A lot of stuff. I know for myself, I've got patio furniture outside. I got boats to get ready. I got a pier that's got to come out, a lift that's got to come out. All this stuff has to get taken out of the water. Patio furniture needs to be stored somewhere. Sometimes they market stuff as outdoor furniture and people will just leave it outside. Believe me, it will last a lot longer if you cover it or if you have the opportunity to store it inside. I'm not saying you got to go rent a storage unit, but you can get a cover made, or if nothing else, a tarp and bungee cord.
Right.
Be that if that's what it takes.
I've
to
done
do
that.
It,
yes,
it's going to protect your stuff.
I've carried it all to the basement before, and
Absolutely.
I have left it outside and just taken a tarp over it.
Yep.
But it still can get weathered. Sometimes it can get weathered below that tarp. So
It can.
if you want to save it for as long as possible, try to get it inside if you can,
Absolutely.
if possible.
Absolutely. And after the break, we'll talk about a few more tips to get your house ready for winter, I
Okay,
guess.
awesome. You're listening to Real Estate in Real Time. Welcome back. You're listening to Real Estate in Real Time. I'm your host, Woody Zimmerman, here with Mark Skabowski of Remax Lakes, and we're talking about some tips getting your home ready for winter, because I know we're in fall.
Fall has started.
Fall has started. It's actually I love this weather because it's like it's football weather.
Yeah.
Long sleeve up top, shorts on the bottom.
Yep.
I love that type of weather. But that does come with some work to do as we prepare our homes for wintertime.
Absolutely. So I guess the next thing I'd suggest is take a look at your driveways, walkways, patios, that kind of stuff. If you have cracks in your driveway, water can get in there, freeze, and expand, and now you've got a bigger problem down the road.
Yes.
Right? And I've got some of these as I'm getting ready for the show. It's like, man, I got a crack in I need to get that done. Concrete cracks.
Right.
But if it is allowed to go without some form of sealant on it, they get bigger and bigger and bigger, and ultimately what's that lead to? Hey, I need to replace all of that concrete.
Right. Well, okay, so over the past couple of years, it's been pretty dry.
It has.
And like my house has moved because it has been dry.
Sure.
But when you do have those cracks, then it does allow for, the winter snow. When it melts, okay, now you've got water in those cracks. And then there's going to be more movement than
expansion.
Expansion.
Right?
Yeah.
Concrete pops, and now you got a bigger problem than you had with just the individual crack. Asphalt drives.
Yeah.
I was at a house this past week that I looked at as far as listing goes. They had a lot of spider cracks around it. I was like, and they're thinking about putting it on the market. I said, hey, seal coat that. The right thing to do is that crack seal where they come out and they pressurize, spray that. But good Lord, you'd be 3 days, I think.
Oh yeah.
Doing this house because it just had a lot of spider cracks in it. But if nothing else, seal it to try to protect going forward to where you don't, exacerbate the problem with more and more cracks, leaving more openings for more water to freeze in there and expand.
Okay.
Fertilize your lawn and rake your leaves.
Yes.
Rake your leaves. So, if you want to have you want to be that greenest yard in the spring when it comes out, this fertilization in the fall is pretty important. Again, I don't pretend to be an expert on this stuff. In fact, I hire it done. I do it myself.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's more convenient, makes more sense, and it doesn't cost a boatload to hire a professional.
Right.
They put the right amount of fertilizer down in the right spots instead of me going out there with my Scott's lawn spreader and I miss. I get in the spring, I come out and I've got my tracks around there. And there's lots of green, lots of brown, lots of green, lots of brown.
Burn marks.
Exactly.
Done that.
So I have somebody do it. We're on a program year round, but fertilize in the fall and raking those leaves are important. If they set all winter wet, and you try to get them out in the spring, because you're going to need to. You got to mow your grass.
You have to, right? Yeah.
You're going to mow your grass. Rake the leaves as they go. Much as I dislike raking leaves, you got to do it. You need to get them out of there. Again, whether it's gutters, in your shrubs, which, I'd like to be completely maintenance-free. I'd pour concrete. Have no shrubs all the way around my house. I would be 100% comfortable.
Yeah.
My wife would not.
You're right.
But I don't like raking, but it needs to be done.
I'm telling you, a leaf blower is like one of the best items I've ever bought.
Absolutely.
You know, because I use them on the gutter. I go up on the roof. I use them for the gutters. I go down, behind the bushes and all that. Push everything out. Push it to the street. And
then
I rake
let
it
somebody
up.
else pick it up.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly. Yes.
So I guess the next thing is getting the inside the house ready for winter.
Okay.
Have your furnace inspected. If you don't do it yourself,
yes,
hire somebody. Turn it on. Make sure it works. Right now, it shouldn't have failed. Over the winter time. But, stuff happens. Or, I'm sorry, over the summer, your furnace should not have failed as a result. The ACs run, fans run, all that stuff. But will the furnace fire?
Right.
Will you have heat on that first really cold day?
Right, because those HVAC guys, because all the people that didn't do that, and when they go to kick it on and it's not
They're
working.
in emergency
Yeah,
mode.
they're going to be very, very busy. Now, what I heard about a furnace is that you want to change your filters twice a year.
Twice a year.
And so what my guy told me was do it going into the season and then again in February.
Sure. It makes sense because you've run all winter with a closed up house with that filter. So check your filters. If you hire somebody, great. If you don't, at least turn your furnace on, change your filter so you're ready for winter.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's safe. Right. That's part of the inspection. If you have somebody else come out there, is they're making sure your heat exchanger's not leaking. Which what can that lead to? Carbon monoxide and not a good situation.
Right.
So.
Well, I never realized how much better your furnace will run with new filters in it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Big time.
So change and clean your filters, inspect your HVAC. I guess the last thing I'd say is get your snowblower ready. Find your snow shovel.
Yeah.
Right? Find your salt or whatever you use on your driveway, on your sidewalks, any of that stuff. Make sure you know where it's at. Right? Now, some people, hey, it's stored. I got it. It's in my garage. It's there. There are others of us that move stuff. We've got limited space in the garage. You move it to a storage unit. So basically, like you're changing out my summer from my winter. Get your summer stuff out of the garage and into your storage if that's what you do, and bring your winter stuff home. Nothing worse than we get that first big snowfall, and you've got to find, does my snowblower run or not run?
Well, okay, if you remember last year, you couldn't find a snowblower.
That's correct.
Because they were completely sold out of snowblower. I mean, I don't think anybody had them at all, so you couldn't even find one. So.
You couldn't. And I don't know what the prediction is this year for winter. I didn't look at, the old almanac to see what the prediction is, and I don't know what anybody's saying. But
it's supposed to be a cold one.
A cold one, but you know what? I'm okay with cold. Less snow, I'm good.
Yeah.
It can go down, it can be 0, and I'm happy. But snow, no thanks. I don't like shoveling. I don't like raking, don't like shoveling.
There you
I'm
go.
good with that.
All right. Hey, good tips here, Mark. Your contact information?
Sure. Website's lakes-realtors.com. Phone number's 574. What the heck is my number? 834-1233. Mark Skabowski at Remax.net.
I do the same thing because I never call myself.
I never call myself.
I don't call myself. All right, you've been listening to Real Estate in Real Time. Have yourself a wonderful weekend.
He doesn't even know his own number.
Yeah.